going through the local domiciled funds. What's the background to those two avenues?
Are you all right by speaking from here or you want me up there? Up there? You cover it. If I get a little tired, maybe I'll go. Thanks, Rashmi. Thanks for the opportunity to share some thoughts with you on what we are halfway through at this point of time, namely enabling Indian investors to look at opportunities overseas and see how to maximize the opportunities that presently exist. I'm not going to give you a very detailed description of the regulatory environment. I think there are people here who will give you the user's perspective. Mr. Kurian will. Sailesh Bhai will give you the taxation advice that you need as and when you seek to invest, and Shiva will give you the answers to all the legal questions that might have arisen in your minds and some that he might himself flag as the discussions proceed today. What I'm going to tell you is where we've got to, where we started, where we've got to. If you look at the mindset of Indian policy makers and therefore regulators, because regulators are a derivative in the system. What they do is derived from policy formulation, really. If you look at that, initially investing overseas was something that you didn't even talk about, think about, and clearly there were no opportunities. It was felt or to be content with investment opportunities within India. That was some years ago. As things progressed, as India became a member of the international community in a manner of speaking, integrating with the world, including financial integration that we're witnessing today increasingly, it was recognized that Indians need to be given the opportunity to invest overseas. And yet the matching confidence, recognition of the need was one thing, but the confidence to enable that in terms of authorizing the movement of money overseas for investment was not something that happened very easily. If you look at the way sums of money were authorized to be taken outside, you'll recognize that initially it was only for medical treatment and education that Indians were authorized to take money outside, other than, of course, business expenses for which you needed appropriate permissions from the authorities. Then the Reserve Bank of India at a point of time said that each individual in a calendar year could take out $25,000, and I want you to get me accurately on this. This is important. The Reserve Bank did not say that this was meant for investment purposes overseas.